Hello, it's the Friday Talkie. What the hell am I going to talk to you about today? Seems like it's been a long time since I did a Friday Talkie, and that would be because I was on holiday. Well, actually I just got back in time for the last one, but didn't have anything to talk about, so I didn't do one. But we went to Southport, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. It's not gaming related at all, but sod it. Yeah. I've actually put up 3 videos on my other channel, Ben Way's World, which some of you have seen already. The first one is of the trip there, going along the A57 through Derbyshire, across the Pennines, which was incredible. It's a stretch of road that I believe is called Snake Pass. There seems to be a little bit of debate about whether it is or not, but I don't care about that. The view is incredible. On that video, I concentrate on the scenery. On the way back, the third video, same stretch of road in the rain, speeded up. The scenery you can't really see because we're on the wrong side of the road, but it just shows how scary that road is, especially in the rain. It was really hurling it down. And that's kind of a bit of a dramatic video, and it's got music as well, by me. And the second video is of Southport itself. And it's a weird place. I mean, we were meant to be there for 4 nights, but we came home a day early because, well, it just pissed it down, and we thought there's no point staying here. The hotel was okay, but we kind of figured there's no point sitting in a hotel room because you couldn't go out, it was too wet. You know, maybe watching telly when we could do that at home anyway, so we went home. Yeah, it shows a little bit of Southport. Weird place. The sea goes out for miles and miles and miles. Like when the tide's out, you can't really see the sea without binoculars. When it comes in, it's in for about 5 minutes and then goes out again. It's just weird. I show a little bit of that. You see the tide in and then it just vanished. Like the sea front, or the bit nearest the sea, which isn't... maybe you'll get the gist of it, is kind of nice and modern looking, though some of the buildings are all very empty. They've built this, I don't know if it's a kind of a leisure area meant to be full of restaurants and stuff, but it looks really nice, but it's empty. And the further back from the seafront you get, the more run down it gets, and it's kind of, I suspect, a town that's struggling a bit from the recession, which is a shame. But the people there, it was a very, very weird combination of looking quite comfortably well-off middle-class people and people who were obviously struggling, and very polarised. It was an interesting place to go. I mean, we go to the seaside all over Britain a lot. We're going to Bournemouth in August. That'll be good. And you know, we go to Scarborough a lot. But it is interesting to see other places that we haven't been, and we've never been to Southport before, and it was well worth going. Would we go again? Probably not. So that was that. Other things, eventful things. I spoke recently, I don't know if it was my last Friday Talkie, about I've been to hospital and whatnot, and was meant to get like an echocardiogram and blah blah blah, and they hadn't done it and stuff. Well, I finally got all those things done this week. What day was it? Wednesday. I went along, echocardiogram got done. It wasn't actually going to be done that day, but the person who was due to have it done wasn't there, so they crammed me in. That went fine. Absolutely nothing showed up on that whatsoever. Yeah, you just lay on a trolley on your side, and a nurse kind of squirts you with goo and does an ultrasound on your chest and stuff, and then you sit there and look at the screen, and it does all weird flashy things on it. Was basically a normal ultrasound thing, but it's weird. I've seen you see ultrasounds of babies and things, and it's just that monochrome thing, but when they're doing an echocardiogram, it flashes in red and yellow and green, and it's like having a thunderstorm in your chest, which is weird. But that was interesting. It makes lots of weird noises, but apparently it's absolutely fine. Nothing showed up on there. And then I went for the stress test, which is basically a ECG, electrocardiogram, where they wire you up so, you know, you look like they're trying to jumpstart you or something. I'm wondering where they hook up the lightning rod. And then they put you on a treadmill, which starts off slow, and every 2 minutes they make it faster. I lasted about 8 minutes and was absolutely knackered. I'm trying to think of appropriate words there. Knackered doesn't do it justice, but yeah, that it's interesting because on the information they give you, they say 1 in 2.5 thousand people has a heart attack while doing this. How reassuring. I didn't have a heart attack. I asked the woman, like the main professional, what I don't know what her rank or designation was, but she seemed to be like the main person in there, you know, if she'd seen anything of interest or noteworthy or whatever, and she said, I can't tell you. It's got to go back to the main lead doctor, but she said, but I haven't seen anything that's alarming. You know, there's nothing there worrying her, and if it's not worrying her, then it's not going to worry me either. I know my blood pressure's a bit high. It was interesting actually, when I went in, that they took me blood pressure right at the start, and it was high. And then I did all the running, and it went through the roof, and then I stopped and sat down for a bit, and it was lower than when I'd started. Yeah. It was an interesting experience. No doctors broke into my house while I was there, and I don't have lupus. And if you don't watch House, you won't know what the hell I'm talking about. Yeah, so that was that anyway. All seems to be fine. I've got to wait really for the results before there's any definitive word on that, but they didn't seem concerned, and that's good enough for me. Alright, enough of that. Gaming stuff, because that's what you're here for. Probably, unless you're just here to hear me talk crap, which means you're probably weird. Yes, tag video. Lawn Boys Post 1975 started this one. Quite a few people are responding to it. It's a good one. It's funny. I'm very aware that I keep responding to tags by the same people. Lawn Boy and Ed T. Consistently doing absolutely excellent tag videos. Yeah, so the question is along the lines of, because I haven't got it right in front of me and can't remember the title, do you enjoy gaming now, as much now as an adult, assuming you're an adult? I tend to think I am. There are those who might debate that point. Do you enjoy gaming as much now as an adult as you did when you were a kid, child, whatever, younger? I can answer that in one word, but obviously I will go into detail, and the answer is yes, absolutely. It's kind of weird. I don't know if it's my taste in gaming, my way of gaming, the way I deal with gaming and how I game and the kind of games I play has changed over the years, and you would expect that. But the way it's changed surprised me or caught me out, or when I look at it, it's like, that's noteworthy. And I'll explain. When I started gaming, games were pick up and play. You know, it was Atari 2600 games. You just picked them up, you played them, and you could play for quite a long while if you were going for a high score. But if you were just going to play for as long as it took to think, okay, yeah, I've mastered that, and then you go on to the next one, then maybe you didn't play for very long before moving to the next game. Very much pick up and play. Acorn Electron games were the same. Quite often I play. The amount of time I spent playing the game was fairly much on a par with how long it took to load the game. So it was like 10 minutes loading, 10 minutes playing, except for things like Elite and Exile, which I played for years. Yeah, so in the early days, it was very much pick up and play. And as I moved further along past Mega Drive games into Amiga games, then I got into the real in-depth stuff. You know, that flight sim. I was very much into anything that was 3D, which mostly meant flight simulators. But things like Jeff Crammond Formula 1, stuff like that. And then I got into the depth around the 16-bit era, the Amiga and the 32-bit stuff like that. I got into games with depth and would play them for days, weeks, months, years. And certainly by the time I was playing PlayStation 2 games, yeah, I was so totally engrossed in games. I would play them for years and lose myself in them. San Andreas, completely lost myself in that. I mean, for months I would play it every night for hours and hours, and loved it. Did I love it more than when I was playing games that were pick up and play? No, but it was different. It was a different kind of being engrossed. It wasn't about the instant buzz and adrenaline rush. It was about losing yourself and escapism, I guess. And well, at the time I was playing games like that, I was living in my flat in Milton Keynes. I didn't have a whole lot of social life, to be honest. So that was how I spent my time. It was pure escapism. But now things have changed. I was very fortunate in meeting Andrea. I met her on a dating site. My entire life at that time back then was conducted on the internet. Some might say, well, that's sad. I don't, to me it was perfectly normal. I had a social life, it was just on the internet. I was in chat rooms a lot, there was like real-time interaction. So to me it was like, it was cool. I don't like having to deal with people in the real world a lot of the time. So it suited me. I met Andrea on a dating site. And anyway, I eventually moved up here to live with her, and we got married, and I got a life. So now, given that I have a life and a wife, and I'm very happy with both, I don't have the kind of time it takes to lose myself in video games like San Andreas. You know, hours a day, every day for months and months. I can't do that. I don't want to do that. That was about escapism, but I don't want to escape what I've got here because I like it. So I'm back. I've kind of moved away from that and back to pick up and play, immediate. I want the adrenaline rush again. And that, I think, is why that's why I liked Res so much. It's a short game anyway, you know, it's maybe an hour and a half, depending if you're good, probably considerably less. But it gives you a buzz, it gives you a head rush or something, it takes you to another place, but it does it quickly. And I love that kind of thing, something that's immediate. The only game I play that I play a lot and for extended periods of time is still pick up and play, and that's Battlefield 3. 9 times out of 10, if I'm going to play the PlayStation downstairs, because I've got two, I've got one in the gaming room and one in the living room, and if I'm playing in the living room, it's Battlefield 3. Andrea's in the kitchen on her computer playing, I don't know, Words with Friends on Facebook or something like that. I'm sitting in the living room and I'm playing Battlefield 3, and you can just pick that up and play 20 minutes. You can have a match in 20 minutes and get a buzz out of it. Hours and hours and hours, whatever, you know. And I'll play that for about 3 hours, maybe once, twice a week, something like that. That's the kind of gaming I do now when I'm not making videos. I mean, I will play something different every day because I need to make a video or want to make a video. So I get variety from that. And every now and then I'll just pick up something new on the off chance. As you saw yesterday, that TT Superbikes thing. Total spur of the moment. I don't know about that game. It's 99p. I'll have a look. And it was bloody brilliant. But that's, yeah, the enjoyment is the same. I love it now as much as I did when I had masses of time, as much as I did when I was just starting out, and games, you just didn't play them for they were very short affairs, shall we say. You know what I mean, Atari games. You couldn't play them for hours unless you were going for a high score. That's generalising. Someone's probably going to say, oh, you forgot about this game. That was had lots of depth and blah. Yeah. I know, there are some. That answers that question. Link to the original video down there by Lawnboy's Post, 1975. I'm going to get the tune in my brain now. He's got the best intro tune. After mine, of course. Okay, I have a shout out. Let me turn the camera around. Okay, take 3. Shout out time. This is RetrogamerTim. Gaming and awesome nerdiness. Tim is from Australia, or in Australia, or, you know, he's Australian. That. 66 subscribers at the moment. What can I tell you about Tim? I only came across his channel recently when basically he subscribed to me, or was it he found me on Twitter or something like that? I don't remember. It was very recent, and I just took a look at his stuff, as I always do, and thought, this is good. What does he do? Well, he's into retro video games, which is good because I probably wouldn't be shouting him out otherwise. What he does is varied. Frequently he will do system reviews, and when he does those, he's got this cool style. Apart from the Australian accent, which I like the Australian accent anyway, He has background music when he's talking, which is good and it fits and it works. It's something I always shy away from because I worry about YouTube's being worry about YouTube being arseholes with copyright and stuff. But anyway, it works here and I like it. And he breaks it up. It's not just him looking at the camera and talking or pointing the camera at the hardware and talking. He adds in gameplay and talking as well, and it works. It's nicely edited, it's nicely paced, it's entertaining. He's got a nice style that's chirpy and lively without being in your face. Yeah, and I really like how he does it, which is what I always say about all the channels that I shout out, because I wouldn't be shouting them out if I didn't like how they do it. There are some which are, I believe, pure, well, not pure gameplay. They're gameplay as opposed to system reviews, I think. Obviously, I haven't watched all of them. I only subscribed a few days ago. But the ones I've watched, I think, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, that's really it. He talks about retro gaming in a way that I like. Shows you the games, shows you the hardware, and he's got a cool Pac-Man mug. And what more could you ask for than that? That is RetrogamerTim. Check him out. Subscribe if you like him. I really hope I can edit this to make it seem like the usual slick, polished, incompetent rambling that I normally put out, because today I'm totally... The raw video is so shambolic, it's unbelievable. Maybe I should take all of those bits and put them into a separate blooper reel, but I don't know. Probably not. Yeah, what's coming up? Closing comments thing. More, not strictly speaking, more of the same actually. I am going to do the things that I said I was going to do. I mean, I've been saying for months that I would do a collection video, and what do you know, I finally did a collection video. And wow, the response to that was fairly epic. Normally when I do like my most popular videos are these Friday talkies, and since YouTube have been screwing around and stuff, they generally get about just a smidge over 1,000 views over the space of a week. It used to be more before YouTube changed everything, but you know, that's just the way it is. So about 1,000 views in a week for my most popular stuff. And that collection video, it's, when did I put it live? Yesterday, day before. It's been a couple of days. And it's up to about 1,600, and that's just like, my videos don't do that. They don't ever do that quickly, so that's quite flabbergasting. Having all the annotations has proved to be a good thing. That is working. It seems there are people who didn't know how much stuff I'd got on this channel, and that's understandable as well, because not everyone looks at the playlists. Yeah, there are thousands of videos, well over 1,000, over 1,100 even videos. There's quite a lot. So the annotations have proved useful. But that's that. What am I going to be doing? Now I'm done talking about what I've done. System overviews. That's what I said I would do. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try and make it a daily thing. As you know, before we went away on holiday, I was managing to churn out not quite 2 videos a day, but not far from it, and they were all gameplay videos. So what I'm going to try and do now is churn out nearly 2 videos a day, but it'll be like 1 gameplay, 1 system overview. That's the plan. Can I actually do it? I don't know, but I'm going to try. It all depends on how much depth I want to go into when I'm doing a system overview, because it's not going to be a full review. We're talking maybe 3 minutes, where I just let you have a closer look. Literally, I'll just hold the thing up and move it around so you can get a good view of what the console looks like. And I will talk about it, what I can tell you from memory. Because when I start doing research, once I start I can't stop, and all of a sudden I've lost hours. And I'm then working not quite from a script, but from notes. I don't want to do that. So there won't be too much detail and history and technical info or anything like that. It is going to be what I know about it and my own experiences of it and what I think about it, really. And full reviews will come later. Don't ask me when, because whenever I say when, I don't. So, that's what's coming up. And I think I will actually manage to do it. And obviously, all of those will become linked with annotations from that collection video, because that is the intention when doing that, was for it to be like an index video. It's now set as the as I used to do a while ago. It's like the featured video on the front page of my channel. So newcomers to the channel, that'll be the first thing they see. And it's kind of like a stepping off point to my other videos, be it system reviews or gameplay videos or whatever. And that seems to work. It certainly gets people's attention, it's getting the views and blah. You know what I'm talking about, probably. Yes, anything else of interest coming up? I can't think of anything. Ow. I think I just broke my fingers. Okay, that's probably everything then, if it's not. Yeah. Thank you for watching.